All right, you have made it to the last exercise of this week. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the desire that you identified, that's the most important thing, and then the component parts that you broke it out into, and we're gonna go one layer deeper. Because this is the process to identify the goals that are really going to energize you, give you energy to move, give you clarity, and give you absolute certainty that you're doing the right things to move toward the things that you want the most in your life. So you identified your desire. The last exercise, you identified some of the different component parts. So I want you to take out that journal and look at the desire, the component parts you broke it out into. So did you find those 2 or 3 things, those 2 or 3 component parts that you know with absolute certainty, if I could do 1 and 2, or if I could do 1 and 2 and 3, I know for sure I would be able to achieve this thing that I want the most. So I want you to look at those component parts. And now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat that same process and we're going to do it a layer deeper. So if my goal is I want to make $1 million and the component parts identified are I need to learn how to make $1,000 product, and then I need to learn how to sell it to 1,000 people. What I want to do is we're going to look at these component parts now and break them out even further. So let's say the next layer is I need to sell a product to 1,000 people. I'm just going to focus on that for now. How can I sell a product to 1,000 people? And ask yourself specifically, this is the question that I like to ask is, what is required for me to sell this product to 1,000 people? What's required? What are the components? Think like math, logic, logical certainty. What would need to happen? What's required for me to sell this to 1,000 people? Well, I know it's going to be the number of people that I ask to buy it multiplied by how many people buy it proportionately. Like what's my close ratio? So if I need to sell to 1,000 people, what do I need to do? I need to ask a certain number of people, and out of those people, I need to close a certain ratio. So if I have a 10% close ratio, then I know I need to ask 1,000 times 10, so 10,000 people at a 10% close ratio, I'll sell it to 1,000 people, right? Or if my close ratio is higher or lower, then I just need to ask more or less people. If I ask enough people, I know for a fact I'll be able to sell it to 1,000 of them eventually. And then you can break that out into component parts. So say, okay, how can I get this product in front of 10,000 people, right? And you see how this breaks out in layers, it breaks out in layers, it breaks out in layers. But now all of a sudden, if I know I need to sell this product to 1,000 people, and then I identify I just need to get it in front of 10,000 people and assume that I have a 10% close ratio. And then that's another component. How exactly can I have a 10% close ratio? You can break that out into its logical components. But selling 1,000 people, I need to get it in front of 10,000 people. Now all of a sudden, what do you have? Now all of a sudden, you have a crystal clear goal. You know, I need to find a way to get this product in front of 10,000 people. And now if you want to make that a SMART goal, if you know that, if you want to make that a SMART goal, put a date on it and you have a really great goal. Say, I need to get this product in front of 10,000 people in the next 6 months if I want to make $1 million. Wow. Doesn't that feel energizing? Now you have something that you know for sure is directly connected to your deepest desire, whatever that thing is that you started with. You know it's directly connected to that deepest desire and it's specific and it's achievable. How can I get this product in front of 10,000 people? I need to pay for advertisements. I mean, it's pretty easy. I can get an email list of 10,000 people or I can pay for Facebook ads or whatever. It's not that difficult for me to get my product in front of 10,000 people, right? So now all of a sudden, I know exactly what I need to do. And now all these external voices that are telling me, oh, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this. No, we need to do this. I know exactly what I need to do. I need to figure out how to get this product in front of 10,000 people. And maybe you can break that out even further and say, okay, Facebook ads, email ads, word of mouth, phone calls, whatever. And you can figure out, how do I do this thing to move toward the things I want the most? And you can actually figure it out just by asking the right questions. All you have to do is ask, how does this break out into the component parts? What's required for me to achieve this? What's required for me to achieve this? So today, for today's exercise, take those component parts. You already have your desire. You broke it out into 2 or 3 component parts. Now I want you to start breaking out those component parts even further. And if you want, you can go all the way. If you really want to achieve this desire, you can break it out all the way. And you just have this beautiful tree of all of the things that you know for sure that you need to do, all the different component parts that you need to achieve in order to have this deepest desire. And if it's the greatest thing that you can possibly imagine with your life, and if you can create a plan so that you know with absolute certainty that if you do these things, you'll be able to experience that, won't you have energy? Won't you feel like you have energy to move and achieve these things? So take the time, break out those component parts. Say, okay, I know A, B, and C is going to lead me to my desire. So let's take A. How do I break that out? I need $1,000 product. I need to sell it to 1,000 people. How do I break that out? I need to sell to 1,000 people. So I need to get it in front of 10,000 people and have a 10% close ratio. Just use your powers of logic, use your powers of rationality, your powers of logic to break that out until you can arrive at a goal that feels achievable. And that's really the point. The point is to take these things that are connected to your desire and break it down until you arrive at a goal that's achievable. And if you break it out enough, eventually you'll find something that is. So take some time and work on that. I think you're gonna love this. I'm really excited for you to have this clarity and focus and power and confidence that you're really gonna be able to achieve the things that are most important to you in your life. I know that this has been super helpful and impactful for me, and I think it's going to be for you too. And I can't wait to hear what you think about it. So thanks for joining me this week and doing all of these exercises. It's gonna be awesome. And I will see you in our call this week. So thanks for joining me.